Hi friends, today's video is going to be all about the benefits of year-round homeschooling and a little sneak peek into our terms for the rest of the year. We've been doing some curriculum term picks for a few terms now, and we're going to continue to do that, but I have sort of mapped out the rest of the year as far as science and history goes, and so I wanted to show you that too, so let's get started. All right, and before I get started on this video, I wanted to make sure everybody knows, stay to the end because we're doing a giveaway. All right, so I haven't printed it out yet because I am still making changes, but I went ahead and put in the terms that we've already completed up here and then the terms we haven't done yet. So blue means science, pink means history. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that we don't usually do science and history at the same time, unless it is with one of those unschooling calendars. So we're changing it up a little bit for the rest of the year. May 1st is going to be our last unschooling calendar launch. For the foreseeable future, we may do some more next year, but that'll be our 5th unschooling calendar. As I was going through and I was printing a bunch of orders for people, I realized we have a lot of science that we haven't used in a while. So instead of making some new ones, we're just going to be using the ones that we have. So January, February, March, and April are the ones that I've already shared about. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bigger here. So you'll notice that there's both blue and pink for the rest of each term. So the term lengths are going to be 4 weeks, 4 weeks at a time. Week 1 is going to be science week, and then we're going to do 3 weeks of history. And the reason for this is that our science lessons or our science units can be divided pretty easily into different weeks. Our American history, though, is about 3 weeks to a unit, so this way we can do something about science and then we can do a whole history unit. Now what we're going to do is my kids are going to switch off each time and pick what they want to learn about in science. So my son picked our dinosaur unit for May, and then my daughter is still going to pick, she hasn't picked hers yet, but we'll study that this week. So we're also going to be doing our Berenstain Bears social studies finally, so that'll be out and ready for you either during May or during June. It'll probably be a pre-sale like we did with the Magic School Bus. Sorry, this is not clicking correctly. There we go. Then July, we're going to be studying the Prairie. Oh, I think I missed one. June, we're going to be studying the American Revolution, so that they've studied that right before the 4th of July. July is going to be the early Prairie unit. August, we're going to be doing the Renaissance unit because on the 25th and 26th, we have a Renaissance fair. And then September, we are taking off. September is our big month of gardening and apples and our plums and everything that month. And then October, we're going to be doing Ancient Civilizations, which will be a new unit. November, we'll be doing Jamestown right before Thanksgiving, which is a unit we already have. And then December, we'll either take off or do some sort of December school. So once this is finalized, I'll release it for you guys if you're curious. I'm sorry, I don't know why the camera keeps shaking so much today. I have no idea, so I'm going to try not to touch the table. So for the first benefit of year-round homeschooling is time. And I know that might seem a little like, what? But you're schooling all year round. Yes, we do school all year round, but we only school 3 to 4 days a week, and we take weeks off throughout the year. So like you just saw in those terms, we have been doing like a 3 to 4 weeks on and 1 week off, and we're going to continue with that, 4 weeks on and 1 week off. Our off week, like we've talked about in some of our other videos, I'll link the little between terms videos up here, isn't like off, it's more just we don't do a whole lot of structured schooling, kind of just go with the flow while I'm getting stuff ready for the next term, taking stuff down from the other term. So time was what I mean is we can take our holiday vacations whenever we want. We can take a Friday off if we want. We can take a Monday off if we want. We can take a Wednesday off if we want. You know, we're doing it all year. So it equates to possibly a little bit more. So we're having about a 38 to 40 week school year instead of 36, but it's spread out through the whole year. So we don't feel rushed, we don't feel behind, we don't feel anything like that. It's just school is school, and it's worked so much easier for us that way. Now, reason number 2 is actually has a lot to do with the way that we do our whole school year in the first place, is we do a January to December school year. We don't start in August and end in May or June. That's always been confusing to me. And then we don't take the whole summer off. It just made way more sense for us to go January to December. So it's an entire year that way. And the other benefit of year-round homeschooling is if we wanted to take a month off here or there, we can take it off literally whatever month it is that we wanted to. And like you saw on that is usually December. And then sometimes it's like April and August or something like that. We've done 3 months on, 1 month off in the past, and we may do that again coming up here. I usually decide our terms based on the curriculum that I'm putting out because that is my business. And my kids are actually helping me make things now instead of me just making them for them to use, which is really, it's so much fun. And so we base our terms off of that. So that's another good point about year-round homeschool is you have a more flexible schedule. So you've got the time and the flexibility are the first 2 points. Now, point number 3 is one of my favorites, and I don't know if I said that about point number 1 and 2, but they're all my favorites, is schooling seasonally is a lot easier to do when you're schooling year-round, and that's because you're schooling with every season. So Julie Bogart in The Brave Writer and in her Gracious Space books mentions that a lot of homeschool families tend to have a natural rhythm that sometimes they fight against because they feel like they have to align with what public school does. And I hope my dishwasher isn't too loud because it's really loud. But they feel like they have to align themselves with the traditional schedule or whatever else it is. And so you don't follow your natural rhythm. But every family has a natural rhythm, whether it's the same as the family across the street or a family in another state, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a natural rhythm, and I'll tell you what ours usually ends up as. When it's warm and we're outside, we really want to learn about science because we're out there in nature, we're out there in the natural world, and it's just what happens. And then when it's really, really hot, we don't usually do a whole lot of, outside projects and stuff like that because we're inside and we're hibernating and we're cooling off. So maybe we'll do something early in the morning, and it's usually still sciencey, but this year it's going to be history because we're trying to align the history with the holidays this year since I do have that. Then when it starts cooling down in the fall and you're cuddling up more, you tend to gravitate more towards book work or stuff like that. So schooling with the seasons, seasonal schooling there's another word for it, and it's called tidal schooling. It's kind of like how you school with the tides. You naturally ebb and flow as a person and as a family, and this kind of schooling is just honoring that. So point 3 is being able to school with the seasons. I find that when a child takes a long break from something and they're not thinking about it all summer, you have to do a lot of review and you go back to it, and to me that's always been a waste of time. So that's that point. That brings me to the last point for this video today, which is consistency. Especially if you're raising children that have some sort of ADHD or hard time focusing or maybe short-term memory problems, dyslexia, that kind of thing, which we are dealing with, it is easier for them to be consistent and to stick to a schedule. I don't know if any of you have had where, maybe family's coming over, you're going somewhere, or you just are too busy and everybody kind of gets a little crazy. There's more fighting and people are snapping at each other, and it kind of just throws everybody's rhythm off. And that's how it is for us, at least. So it's easier for us to be consistent if we're always consistent. I have always grown up as the kind of person who has had a hard time resting because I needed to feel like I was being productive all the time. And I realized just recently that it was because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get back to it if I took a break. So that's why we schedule our breaks, and they're mostly breaks, but not all breaks. And schooling year round means that we can just take a day or two off here and there as we need it. Or maybe we're doing some schooling on Saturday, which has been known to happen because the kids love school. It's been a beautiful experience for us and for me. And so you've got time, flexibility, seasonal schooling, and consistency. And those are the top 4 benefits of year-round school that we have found in our family. If you year-round homeschool, what are some benefits of you and your family? And this week is the official week that we're going to be starting our giveaways on YouTube. So if you want to enter this week's giveaway, today is Friday, April 21st. I will announce the giveaway winner on our last video of next week. So either Thursday or Friday, when I make that video, I'll announce the winner. All you have to do to enter is subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Even if you just want to comment, tell me about yourself or tell me about your year-round homeschooling. One of you is going to win some awesome curriculum. I love you all. I hope you have a great day. And if you want to give me any ideas for an upcoming YouTube video, that counts as a comment too. See ya.